Hey people, this is Jonas again with a little update on my little hobby project. I said in one of my previous videos that I would take a little break, and that's not entirely true because I think I'm kind of hooked on this stuff. So I couldn't keep my hands off this anyway. So in the meantime, I've been playing with a different setup. I think I showed this the last time. And let's see what we have here. So we have the same setup from last time. You will notice there are some arrows. I can mention that in a bit. And we have this functionality now. We can climb. There's a little bit of jaggedness going on in the animation. You can see here if I make it run slow and I jump up. I had a lot of problems with this animation and it took me about 20 tries to just get this result, and it still does this little jump. So I thought that it looks okay, it's acceptable, it's not perfect in any way, but it's gonna do for this. Okay, so I found some bugs also, and I have plenty of them in this. I see. But anyway, one nice thing I thought of was that if you, for example, stand on next, try to jump up on this one, you can't. You can see the arrow is below the edge. That's actually the maximum jump to ledge point. And then we see that there's a red arrow further up. That's the other one. So for example, this one, the ledge is below, so here I can jump up to it. And the same holds for this one. Here, of course, I can jump up to it. And I also have a green one saying that if something is lower than this, then I don't want to be able to jump up on this. Because that's when I position the character, is going to put him through the ground, the capsule through the ground. And then when he lets go, he's going to be stuck in the ground, or kind of he pops up. So it looks stupid. So it introduced this minimum. So about the red arrow up here. So if we stand here, we can see we cannot jump up to it. But I make a check now if I have a certain speed and I'm at a certain distance. I think it's 200 units in front. Then I make a trace mode. So you can see now still nothing is happening, but if I run, he's gonna make this wall run, which looks pretty cool, I think. So yeah, well, that's actually just what I wanted to show. And then I made this little level where we can, for example, pretend that we need to get this little box. So we need to show. I think we need to show that one. Yeah. Then we can go up here. And actually we just climb this one. And then look at this. Oh, why does it not? Oh no! Okay, weird. Okay, that's what I wanted to do. Anyway, so I think this effect is pretty cool also. I think if I time it right, I can sling it. Okay, so if anybody is interested in some of the blueprint stuff, I can spend a few minutes showing what we have inside and how I built this. And you're of course welcome to ask questions on my channel. But basically all I've talked about up until now covers the stuff I made. It's just a matter of doing more of what I've already done. So inside let's start off by taking a look at the place where we jump. So because that's where all the stuff is happening. So when I jump, I say, okay, are we in a non-climbing state? So if we are in a non-climbing state, then so I want to ask, am I hanging in a braced position? Because if I then press jump, I want to climb, and that's going to make him climb over the ledge. That's the one I had tons of trouble with the animation. And if not, then we just want to do a regular jump. So if I am in a non-climbing state, then I want to try to reach for a ledge. And if I can't reach a ledge, then I'm just going to make a regular jump also. So all this stuff is happening inside try reach ledge, which I renamed because now it also does, besides jumping for the ledge, I made a bit of different changes to this. So I still have this check, we facing a wall, but I tweaked the distance I trace forward from, this was 100 previously, so I changed that to 200, so that allows me to catch the wall, kind of know that we have a wall in front of us when we approach it from 200 or 2 meters in front of it. So which one did I come from? This one. So inside the try reach ledge, I do the same as I did before, I think. I just say, okay, wall ledge within reach. I think this was called something with jump. And this is basically just the same old jump trace I do. I introduced this ledge trace start and end because, as I may have mentioned earlier, that the trace line traced by channel, it acts different if I have a brush and compared to if I have a solid mesh. So something with the initial overlap, I think. So I just decided to do something different. So I have these two purple arrows right now saying this is where I trace from, and this is where I trace to. And the yellow or the green one is the minimum. I think I want to say the ledge I'm tracing to needs to be at least this high, and it cannot be higher than the orange one if I want to jump to it, and the red one is, as mentioned, the height I can wall run to. Okay, so inside, if we go back to this function, I believe if you follow some of my other tutorials, all of this should be pretty familiar. I didn't really change anything. Maybe some change the variable to a local, but that's nothing serious. And then I added this extra pin down here. So besides making a trace for the jump, I also make a trace for the wall run, and basically it's the same. So I just make a check here if my vector length, my speed is greater than 300. It's just the speed I chose. 200 is my walk speed, and so I want to say, okay, I want to be a bit over walk speed, so accelerating kind of. And I make this vector and zero out the z-axis because I don't want to get the z-axis into account. So if I get some extra speed because I'm falling, that would mess up the vector length. And then there's this wall trace for run with it, blah blah blah, something. And what this one does, it may look a bit complicated, but it's actually not. It's just saying that instead of tracing a few units in front of us, we're going to take the impact point from our facing wall, this impact point. So where that point hits, we're going to take that point and feed it into this function, and just going to say let's make a vector consisting of our interaction point, which is basically the direction, and giving it 5 units, and then plussing that to the this vector up here consisting of the trace start and end, which we may remember was this one and this one, the two purple ones. Where did I come from? I keep losing. Okay, so yeah, I'm just creating these two vectors saying the x and the y should come from the impact point, and the z-axis should come from the height of the start and the end. And I just add 5 units so it actually hits, otherwise it's gonna point right on the wall where the front trace would hit. So I'm just putting it a little bit forward so that if when I shoot the trace from down to this, then it's gonna hit something. I hope that made sense. Okay, so anyway, then I make this check also. Do I hit something? And if I do hit something, if I don't hit something, I'm just going to return I can't wall run. And if I hit something, then I also want to check, okay, so this impact point, is that within my max run to point and the minimum ledge point? So is that within the red one and the green one? Because that's just the heights I came up with, trying different heights, which I thought would look cool. And well, that's I think that's basically it. Yeah, it's the same here. I just call a wall run to braced hang, rotate the character just like we do up here. It's the same. An animation blueprint. What is this stuff? Update. It's nothing. I think I may have made a few changes to this one. I stop this update grab position. I stop the motion for or the montage for 2 montages between. It's because I don't know which one is running, so I'm just stopping both of them if they are running. I know it's a bit hacky, but that's what I could come up with in a hurry. And then I have introduced this offset to my stop movement, which is basically saying, okay, when I stop, I want to say, okay, my ledge interaction point is gonna have a z-axis position, and I want to adjust that exact position according to my capsule position. So when I call this stop movement in our base character blueprint, where is it? I have the stop motion somewhere. Stop movement. Okay, so in the stop movement, I say take this offset and take the capsule component, get world location, and add that and set the new world location. So I'm basically just adjusting it, and that's to get rid of just not to get rid of anything, just actually just make sure that the hands land where they should land. Okay, because if I don't have that part, when I was jumping, and sometimes the position in the animation was a little bit off, then the hands would end up a little bit above the ledge, or sometimes a little bit below. So this way I just make sure that it ends the correct way. Damn it. Yes! Looks so cool. I love that animation. Oh yeah, and by the way, about the animation, it's just, once again, I really like these Mixamo animations. It's called wall run, basically. I don't think I did anything in particular besides, of course, adding the root, but it was really straightforward, this one. I was kind of worried that it would be super complex to fix this one. Whoops. Anyway, it has a little bit extra to the animation. I don't use it. I think it is inside the animation. Maybe when I retargeted it. Let me check. Wall run. This one. It looks like this. Yeah, she sits down. But I don't use that part. I have it in the montage I'm using, but I don't really reach it ever. So I should probably remove the rest, but doesn't really matter. I think. Did I remove it? Oh, I may have removed. Okay, I see. I couldn't remember. Okay, so 24 frames in this, and then I don't use anything more. So if we take a look at the non-root version, it's going to be, oh, it's only this part right here. Yeah, and I think I chose this part, this position, because the arms are kind of at the highest point. So if we come a little bit further, then the arm's going to go back, and since we're looking for the hang position, something close to the hang position, then frame 24 was the one I chose. If you don't believe me, let's check out the hang. What's the hang? Yeah, you can see the arms are over his head, so it's kind of something close to it. So I don't think I forgot something. Yeah, well, as I meant, as the title of this video may tell, this is a work in progress. So a lot of work to do. I've seen it do some really weird stuff. It's kind of right now. It's working pretty impressive. I think I like this, especially when you wall run in first person. It looks pretty cool. Let's do it. All right. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to add to this, but I hope you enjoyed it, and make sure to comment if you want to have something in particular covered here. Yeah. As mentioned, this is my little hobby project, and I'm happy to share anything about this. So just let me know what you, if you're interested in some tips and tricks on how I made these things. Okay, bye. Right, bye bye.